All right, today we're jumping into a relationship drama from Reddit that really puts the whole idea of an accident on trial. It's kind of like a classic he said, she said, but, with a broken laptop stuck right in the middle of it all. Let's get into it. And this whole story really boils down to one simple but super tricky question. If you break something by accident, but you were warned over and over that it could happen, are you still on the hook for it? Let's start breaking this thing down. So, here's the setup. We've got a couple. They live together. The guy who wrote the post, we'll just call him OP for original poster, he's got a laptop. Now, his girlfriend has this habit of, stacking things on top of it when she's cleaning. Yeah, you can probably see exactly where this is going.
Now look, this wasn't a one-off mistake. Oh no, this was a pattern. In week 1, the girlfriend put stuff on the laptop and OP asks her, hey, please stop. Week 2, she does it again. He reminds her, you could break this thing. Then week 3, she does it a third time and crack, the screen is toast. This whole pattern is absolutely crucial to the story. As you'd probably expect, this whole thing blew up into a major fight. The OP told his girlfriend that he expected her to pay for a new one. And her response? A flat-out no. So just like that, they're at a total standstill, which created the huge conflict that he eventually brought before the Reddit jury.
And this is where we get the two completely different stories. On one side, you've got the OP's argument. Look, I warned you multiple times. You broke it, so you're responsible. But then you have the girlfriend's defense. It was an accident. I didn't mean to break it, so I shouldn't have to pay. This is that fundamental clash of ideas right at the heart of this whole case.
So, since they couldn't agree, the OP did what so many people do these days. He took his case to Reddit's Am I the Asshole community, which is basically the internet's court of public opinion. And let me tell you, the jury did not hold back.
And whoa, the top voted comment came in swinging. It was swift, it was brutal. User 3 Cent Nickel did not mince words, giving a verdict not just on the situation, but on the entire relationship. And that really set the tone for what pretty much everyone else was thinking.
Diving a little deeper, you see users like Crabbiest Asp really zeroing in on the girlfriend's main defense. They're basically saying that the word accident just doesn't fit here. The fact that she was warned again and again completely changes what kind of act this was. And here's where it gets interesting. User Growlinter46 points out that this is about way more than just a broken laptop. The comment section pretty quickly decided that the real issue here was a total lack of respect for her partner's stuff, and then, an unwillingness to own up to her actions. Okay, so how did this go from just a bunch of opinions to a really solid argument? Why did thousands of strangers all land on the exact same page? Well, it all comes down to the logic of liability, and what we all kind of agree is fair when something goes wrong. And this is the key question, isn't it? It's her whole defense. If there was no malicious intent, if she didn't want to break it, where's the fault? The answer, according to the Reddit jury, is actually found in one simple concept. And that concept is negligence. See, it's not about intending to cause harm, it's about failing to take reasonable care to avoid a harm that you could see coming. And this idea is pretty much the foundation that the entire Reddit verdict is built on. So why does that apply here? Well, first, the risk of damage was clearly communicated. Second, the action was repeated, even with those warnings. And someone in the comments put it perfectly. If someone rear-ends your car, they're still responsible for the damage, even if they call it an accident. The logic is exactly the same here. So that's really the bottom line here, the big takeaway from the whole community. Her intent, or lack of it, doesn't really matter. What does matter is that the consequences of her actions were not only foreseeable, they were explicitly pointed out to her. Multiple times. All right, so we've looked at the incident, we've heard the arguments from both sides, and we've listened to the overwhelming consensus from the court of public opinion. I think it's time to deliver the final verdict in the case of the broken laptop. The judgment is crystal clear and pretty much unanimous. The original poster is NTA, not the asshole. The responsibility for the broken laptop falls squarely on his girlfriend. So, just to recap, here are the 3 key reasons. First, accountability. Her actions were the direct cause of the damage. Second, foreseeability. She was explicitly warned about what could happen. And third, disrespect. Ignoring repeated, totally reasonable requests showed a fundamental lack of respect for her partner and his property. And that leaves us with one last thought to chew on. This case wasn't just about a laptop. It was about where we draw that line between a genuine mistake and just a convenient excuse. It really makes you wonder, in our own lives, when is an accident really just a failure to take responsibility?